Refrigeration is important for storing many foods, but in some cases, it is not necessary. Proper food storage is essential to maintaining quality and flavor. When you're getting creative in the kitchen, whether you're carefully mixing homemade tahini sauce or whipping up a fresh batch of ice cream, it's important to learn the ins and outs of food storage to help keep your favorite ingredients fresh. What food should not be refrigerated? To properly store food for meal preparation or maintain an organized fridge and pantry, it's important to understand that refrigeration isn't always necessary. Some fruits, vegetables, condiments, and ingredients are best kept elsewhere. Before storing any items, make sure to review the packaging instructions for guidance on whether they should be refrigerated or not. 1. Tomatoes. Your haul of fresh tomatoes belongs on the counter, not in the refrigerator. The cold, humid atmosphere inside the fridge can affect the texture of your tomatoes before you have a chance to use them. Just make sure to keep them out of direct sunlight. Cherry tomatoes are the only variety that tends to stand up to time in the fridge without turning mushy or mealy too quickly. 2. Potatoes. Whole, unpeeled potatoes should not be refrigerated. This is for reasons similar to onions. Cold temperatures will convert the starches in potatoes into sugars, causing them to develop an undesirable sweetness and altered texture when cooked. Unpeeled potatoes should be kept in a pantry or cellar that's dark, cold, and well ventilated. Store potatoes away from onions and fruits, as such produce can promote sprouting. 3. Onions. Whole onions should be kept out of the fridge. This is because the onion starches will convert to sugars when exposed to cold temperatures, making the staple ingredient unpleasantly sweeter and softer. What's more, onions have such a strong smell that other items in the fridge may be impacted by being stored close to them, taking on the scent and taste of onions. Store onions in a cool, dry place like the pantry, cellar. 4. Pickles. One great thing about pickles is their preservation. They can be stored in the pantry, freeing up valuable fridge space. However, if you're using store-bought options, make sure to check the package instructions for any refrigeration requirements. 5. Cucumbers. For a lot of people I know, cukes go right from the shopping bag to the crisper drawer. That's a bad idea because the cold, dry air of the refrigerator will make the cucumbers deteriorate pretty quickly. I've regularly kept my homegrown cukes on the counter for a couple of weeks without problems, sometimes longer, and I only refrigerate them once I cut into them. 6. Bell peppers. For optimal crispness, bell peppers should be stored at room temperature. Keeping them in the fridge can make their exterior less crunchy. 7. Avocados. The refrigerator will slow the ripening process for avocados, so unless you're overwhelmed with too many avocados for your weekly use, keep them out at room temperature. The cold temps also harden the texture of a ripe avocado, which might not be ideal for some when it comes to mealtime. Once cut open, store any halves in a Ziploc plastic bag or container in the fridge. 8. Bananas. For a banana to taste its best, it should be kept at room temperature, especially if it requires more ripening. Once bananas start to turn brown, use them immediately or freeze for later. Be aware that bananas can cause nearby fruits to ripen quicker, so place them accordingly. Perhaps not next to the avocados. 9. Berries. To keep berries fresh for a longer time, it's best to store them at room temperature outside the fridge. Moisture buildup may damage the fruit, so it's recommended not to wash them until you're ready to consume. Not only does it help to maintain the ideal texture and flavor, but it also ensures you can enjoy them at their ripest peak. Try no-bake lemon berry cheesecake bars with your fresh berries. 10. Melon. For a number of reasons, whole melons you've just picked up at the store should be stored on the countertop. Even melons that won't ripen or grow sweeter at room temperature, like honeydew, do become softer and juicier. Many cantaloupes are harvested before they are fully ripe and were bred to continue ripening off the vine. They should be left on the countertop until that point is reached. Take a sniff of your melon. If it's smelling sweet, that's an indication that your cantaloupe is ready to be sliced and eaten. Store any leftovers in an airtight container in the refrigerator. 11. Bread. For fresh bread, don't refrigerate. Instead, leave it uncovered at room temperature as long as you are going to finish it by the end of the day. If not, you can store it in a bread box, a paper sack, or you can freeze it. When ready to eat, toast to thaw, preserving moisture and flavor. 12. Coffee. For a delicious cup of coffee every time, Don't refrigerate your grounds or beans. Instead, store them in a cool, dry area at room temperature in an airtight container. This will preserve the captivating aroma and flavor of your beloved brew. 13. Chocolate. Storing chocolate in the refrigerator exposes it to moisture, causing sugar to move to the surface. This process, known as blooming, creates a white coating on the chocolate. Instead, store it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight to maintain its rich, decadent taste. 14. Honey. Sweet and versatile, honey is a staple in many home kitchens. Avoid keeping it in the fridge, as the cold temperature will make it overly thick and practically solid, making it difficult to use. Honey is naturally preserved by its sugar content, will last a long time at room temperature. Stashing it away in a dark cupboard will ensure it maintains a liquid consistency. 15. Garlic. We're not talking about your pre-minced garlic from the grocery store. If you're springing to peel and cut your own, you'll likely pick up a head of garlic instead. This head, or knob, is best stored along with the onions and potatoes in your cool, dark pantry until you've opened it up. Once cut, store it in the fridge. 16. Nuts. I've personally gone both ways on this, because keeping nuts refrigerated does stop their natural oils from going rancid. Cooler temperatures mess with their flavor and texture. Preserve the flavor of nuts, such as cashews and almonds, by storing them in an airtight container at room temperature instead of the refrigerator. 17. Olive oil. It should go without saying. Do this once, and you won't likely do it again. Oils like olive oil, avocado oil, or vegetable oil thicken or solidify in cold temperatures, which isn't quite ideal when it comes time to start cooking. Store them in a cool, dark place away from light. 18. Peanut butter. Conventional peanut butter contains emulsifiers and preservatives that keep it from separating and spoiling at room temperature, so it does not need to be refrigerated. Conventional peanut butter can be stored in a cool, dry space, like a kitchen cabinet. In contrast, natural peanut butter is preservative-free, so it should be refrigerated once opened. Without preservatives, the oil in the peanut butter will separate and go rancid, while the rest of the product will dry out and potentially grow mold. 19. Vinegar. The high acidity of vinegar makes it more suitable for storage at room temperature than in the refrigerator. We tend to think of the refrigerator as a tool to preserve food for as long as possible, but the chilly air of the fridge can have a negative effect on some foods. Keep them at their best out of the fridge. Thank you for watching. We hope this video has helped you gain useful information. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay updated with the latest insights from WikiHealth.